Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can hear it in the background. This is episode number 105 of Material Issues. I'm Mark Hershberger of Pop Detective Records. I'm humbly sitting here in South Jersey early in the evening at 6 o'clock. And joining us live from Liverpool, England at the world famous Cavern Club, where he's holding IPO Liverpool. It's the president of the International Pop Overthrow Festival, Mr. David Bash.
Hey,
Evening,
Mark.
David.
Today I'll have to be able to use my lip reading skills because I can barely hear you. That's because we're in the back room of the cavern and there's a band on stage right now. They're called the 286. They're from London and they're a lot like ELO. I don't know how much you can hear, but in a while I'll bring this out and see everyone can see them play.
Nice.
But right now we've got the band who's going to be up next. They come all the way from Rome, and they've got a really cool garage pop psychedelic sound. They're called Laura and the Stalkers, and we've got here Laura and Alex.
How you guys tonight? Hi.
Are you looking forward to playing?
Absolutely. Yeah. We played at the pub like 2 hours ago, something like that, and now we can't wait to play here. Really.
Well, fantastic. We're going to look forward to some live stuff from you. Yes.
Have you been to Liverpool before?
No, never. It's the first time. We arrived yesterday. Yeah, just 2 days, but we really enjoyed our time here, especially tonight because of all this music, incredible bands we've seen.
Yeah.
It's fun.
We enjoy so much all the music.
We
Festival.
love this music, this festival.
Who are your biggest influences as a band?
A lot of stuff from the 60s and from Inspector Sound is very important, you know, and the Blondie and all the...
Contaminated with the 70s, late 70s and early 80s sound, especially bands, even like The Clash, Simply, like that.
Nice.
We have a lot of influence.
Yeah.
Some Beach Boys,
And you can name any obscure bands from the 60s, because we'll know who they are.
bands from the 60s, some,
The Frogs. I really like the Frogs.
Love the Frogs.
The Trogs, nice.
The Buddy Holly band, all the bands that sound a little bit like Buddy Holly in the 60s. We love all these bands, like the Hollies and other stuff like this.
Actually, it's interesting you mentioned the Trogs and the Hollies, because I think two of the most underrated albums of all time are Cellophane by the Trogs and Evolution by the Hollies.
Yeah.
Those albums should be in people's top 100, but not enough people have heard them. So
the best ones are like that.
yeah, a lot of them.
It's like your festival.
Exactly.
It's about that.
All right. Well, I'm going to move us out to the stage a bit, and we'll get some of your set, of course, as well. So thanks
Thank
for
you.
joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Good luck, guys.
All right.
Enjoy your set. Hey, David,
We will.
enjoy your set.
Oh, sure they
Enjoy it.
will. Yeah.
Rock and roll.
So what are you going to bring John on now? Or?
I want to bring up because I don't want him sitting there in the queue. We have a wonderful co-host tonight because David's going to be busy. Everybody's going to know him from his previous stints here on Material Issues. He is the author of the Beatles 100 pivotal moments in Beatles history. So what better co-host when we're going live from the cavern than the man himself, Mr. John Borack.
Hey everyone.
Hey, John.
Good Dave. I feel like I'm at the cavern right now. I can hear the music,
I'm not going to be able to hear much, but
but Mark can hear me.
I can hear you, John. I can hear
Yeah.
you fine. Yeah, John says he feels like he's at the cavern because we can hear the background music wonderfully. Yeah. Great joke.
Thanks, Barry. I appreciate
No
that.
doubt about it. Second only to Jordan Oates. No, nobody beats Jordan, but John is up there.
Nice.
All right, I'm going to try to bring stuff out to the main music room now. Ouch.
Oh.
Sorry.
Careful. Don't hurt yourself.
I don't know,
David is
John.
being transported to the hospital as we speak.
I don't know. All right. And I'm going going to turn the phone around, and I don't know if you'll hear me or not, but we're going to take a little bit of a tour of the back room of the Cavern. So here we go.
Oh,
I
it's
know
the
those
Ruddles.
guys.
The Ruddles.
The Ruddles. Well, David's showing you a lot of things that are on the wall of the cavern, which
Nick
is
Jones.
which is wonderful. This is the back room.
Yeah,
They
we've
have
got
2
members
rooms.
of the band Spy Genius. You're on Material.
Spy Genius. Yeah.
Mark Hershberger, John Borack. Definitely one of my favorite bands, and they just did a great set earlier.
Thanks very much. It's good to see you.
Nice to see you guys. Yes.
All right,
Yeah, when David's not talking, I've been here a couple times. This is the back room, which is the bigger room, the bigger stage. The classic Beatles Cavern stage is in the front. But they've redone this stage to make it look like the front stage a little bit, so you get the same look as front and back. Very cool.
I've never been. One day.
I told David last show, one day we should all meet up here.
one of my good friends out here in Liverpool.
There he is. David Bash is live from the Cavern Club, Liverpool, and there is the lovely Rena.
See the one the Beatles wrote that song about? Lovely
Yes,
Rena.
lovely Rena Meter Maid.
John Borack. Hi, John Borack.
Here are our
Okay, so we're on social media as well.
Excuse me if I don't blink, Mark.
And here's the 286 who are about to do another song.
And our posts.
Nice.
So if you want to follow us, you can see on there. We're going to carry on now with the second to last song. This one's called Miracle on Extraordinaire Streets.
Wow, they've got cellos on stage. You don't see that too often.
They did say they sound a little bit like ELO, so it makes sense they would have.
I get it, yeah.
They have there's always room for cello. Isn't that what they used to say? Always room for cello.
There's cellos, there's violin, keyboard. Very cool. Stephen Schnee wants your, this is the 286, Stephen. They're called the 286. I don't know if they have an album out. We'll have to check in with David here in a minute to see if they have a release.
I think they're called the 286 because that's how many people they have on stage, right?
Yes, if you add it all up. There's 16 people. Hey, Stephen, good. Hey, great to hang out with you last night in This Is Ski Lodge. The music was fantastic last night. I really enjoyed it. But this is the 286 live from International Pop Overthrow. Hi, Tim Allen. Cello to you all.
I'm going to try to take us into the other room and see how we're doing. See if I can,
David, can you hear me, David?
I'm guessing no.
Yeah, I'm going to go with no. David, can you hear me yet?
Looks like we're still connected pretty well, right?
Can you hear me?
I'll show you what's going on in the front room.
Tommy, can you hear me?
Tommy, can you hear me?
Uh-oh.
That's a hey. That lasted. I'll see. Here's the classic Cavern stage in the front room. So for those just tuning in who've never been here, this is not the original Cavern. It's about 75 yards north of the original Cavern, but they used 80% of the original bricks to rebuild the exact stage.
We got John back for this particular show.
Yeah.
Resurrected him.
So
I'm going to bring it back to the back room now.
So what you're seeing is you have the front stage, which David used to do IPO on both stages concurrently, but because of the popularity of Beatles tribute bands and Beatles bands on the front stage, they do that solely up there front, and then David uses the backstage. Rena's running merchandise. I wish Rena could hear me. I could ask if the 286 has any CD releases.
Here's my good friend Brian Barry from Scott.
Hello, everything.
We're on Material Issues.
Yes, 1-8.
Whoa.
Awesome. Thank you.
There's the 286. Hey, David. David. The 286. David, does the 286 have any CDs?
You hearing me okay?
Yeah, does the 286 have CDs?
No, it's
Pay
okay.
attention. Could be, Steve.
No, no 286 CDs at all, unfortunately.
Okay, there's the answer.
All right, here we go. So,
Not often you get this view. I'm digging this band. Yeah. Now, if you look over the top of the head of the cello players, that's the hallway that leads down to the men's room. That's where I went head first into the wall when I had food poisoning at the Cavern.
Is there a plaque there commemorating us?
There's a plaque there, yeah.
Well, I'm going to say, here lies Mark Hershberger.
No, it says here lied. Here lied, Mark Hershberger.
Here's skewed Mark Hershberger. Wow.
This is good.
Yeah, boy. Great. Enough for royalties.
Yeah.
I mean that in the best possible.
Yeah. The band had to break up shortly after this video that David.
Oh, they're really good.
Yeah. I'll tell you, the first time I went to Liverpool for this with 100 and something band, I think it was 150 bands the first time. The amount of new bands and talent that you discover during this whole week of being here is amazing.
Oh, I'm sure.
Where did he say they were from? If he did.
Don't remember.
You hear that?
I did, little Dave. They're from the UK. London, it says on the
Robin Shell says they do have merch on Bandcamp.
And their website is the286.co.uk.
The 286.co.uk. There you go, Stephen. The 286.co.uk. And they do have stuff on Bandcamp. This is pretty cool. I'm digging it. Very nice.
next year. Take care.
Steven, they have shirts
Beautiful.
and hats, no CDs.
Well,
It got to start somewhere. That was great. Oh, here's
As
an
Carl
actual
Simon would
introduction
say,
from David.
nobody does it better, and we really, this style, they just have it down to a T. Give it up one more time for the 286, everyone. Great stuff. I think you can find their music online. Thank you very much for being here. You're at the 19th Annual International Pop Overthrow Music Festival here at the Cavern Club and Cavern Pub. You're also on the Material Issues podcast, everybody. So come on, say hello. Yeah. That's right.
Pretty cool.
My
Yeah.
podcast partner, Mark Hershberger, and I do this every Wednesday. And today we also are joined with Beatles expert, author, Mr. John Borack, who wrote a Beatles book on the 100 greatest moments in Beatles history. It's something that every Beatles fan should own. You can find it online, and we'll tell you more about that later if we can. I wanted to tell you a little bit about something we have at the table. It's hard to show it to you completely while I'm holding the phone, but we have these wonderful International Pop Overthrow t-shirts that we've done to commemorate our 19th anniversary at the Cavern Club and Cavern Pub. You can see the front, which has a beautiful design with the dates and all the good stuff. And on the back, we have the names of all 110 acts from all around the world who are playing the festival. We have them in black and gray at our merchandise table, but we are running out of certain sizes. We're only halfway through the festival, and we have sold a lot of them. I recommend that if you want one, you get one tonight. We still have most sizes left. We will not be selling them online, so definitely grab one here. All right, so we have lots more to go for you at International Pop Overthrow. Tonight we have 2 more great bands, and then we will be doing this through Sunday, June 4th.
Didn't get my shirt yet, no.
All told, 110 awesome bands from all around the world. Please grab our free program and read all about them. And up next, we have a band who's come all the way from Rome, and they have a very strong 60s influence. A little bit of rock and roll, a little bit of garage, a little bit of psychedelia, a lot of fun. Laura and the Stalkers up next. Thank you.
Look at that. I think that's the first time we've ever been live from a venue with David doing the outro for a band. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
We're going to get you on. If
Very
you want,
cool.
We'll get you into the interview.
Yeah, sure.
As soon as we get into the light.
Yeah, that's really good. Let me just go to my
go to the light, David. Go to the light.
David, go to the light. Go to the light.
No kidding, yeah.
John said it first. I just followed up with him.
See if I replace the sit right now.
Hey, David, tell the 286 we've got fans online already.
You've got what?
There are fans online loving the band.
I saw that, yeah. That's great. No, they're awesome. But
Yes.
unfortunately, no music released on CD that I'm aware of.
But
And I'm sure there's something online, but I've known Spencer, the main guy, had a band called The Four early in the early 2000s. It was they were much more Beatlesque and really, really good also. So this is kind of a different direction for them.
Oh, the Four, F-O-R-E, right?
F-O-R-E, yeah.
I remember them. Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they
Went
were
from the 4 to the 286. Who knows where he's going? The 1483 will be next or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's been a really
3XL.
fun. It's been a really fun few days so far. We've had really good crowds. Like I said, the T-shirts have been selling better than we've ever done. But I think this is the best design that Steve Sanders.
I actually had a question. Mark, did you get your T-shirt, Mark?
Sorry?
No.
I was asking if Mark got his T-shirt because I didn't get mine yet.
Yeah, and also, John, I wanted to talk to you about maybe doing the Hard Days Night Beatles shop, or do a FaceTime with you to see if you want anything.
I'd love to.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that in the next few days, definitely.
Nice.
But yeah, they have this new revolver shirt that I think is incredibly cool. You saw the Four. Oh, I don't know who's saying it. Is this?
That's
this
Barry.
I don't know.
That's Barry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Barry. Nice. Now, 286 was really good, David. We enjoyed that. We
Yeah,
enjoyed we enjoyed the backstage look too, from the side of
So
the
you were,
stage.
you were able to see the backstage? What about
Yep.
when I went to the front? Did it get choppy or was it all right?
No,
It was all right.
Wow, I guess their Wi-Fi has gotten even better than it was last year.
Very,
Yeah,
very Roy Wood ELO sounding for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's get,
Yeah.
if you can, let's get Spencer Hannibus on right now. Main man of the 286. How'd you enjoy your set?
Hey, David, we had a fantastic time. It was electric out there. It's it's great to be back here after a few years away, really.
I know we've been waiting for you to come back. We missed you.
Well, I missed it as well. So thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
no doubt. People were certainly enjoying you. Is there going to be ever going to be a physical release of your music?
We hope so. I mean, we got CDs out.
You do?
We do, yeah.
Why don't I have one?
I'll give you one today.
Oh, bring them to the merchandise table.
I will do, yes.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I've been telling, I kind of said to people it's only online. But
yeah, absolutely. No,
John wants one.
And Mark wants one.
And Mark, that'd be the dream.
Mark and John want
Say it again?
To do
vinyl? Yeah, I hope you do, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. But yeah, we've got 2 CDs out. One's coming your way very, very soon.
All right, well, good to know. So let's see what
David, pick up a couple copies for John and I as well. We're really enjoying the 286 here on Material Issues, and people. Stephen Schnee wants to know where he can buy the CD.
Yeah, where can people purchase the CD?
So if they contact us on social media, we sell them directly from there. So just drop us an email or just send us a DM, whether that be on Instagram, Facebook, or send us a comment, whatever it needs to be. Yeah, they're only a $5 each.
Nice.
I don't know what that is in
a $5 in the States. That's about $6 right now.
Yeah. Well, there you go, Stephen. Find them on Instagram, Facebook, all the social media.
If you just type in the 286, search the 286. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and we're on YouTube as well. All our videos are on there as well.
I just followed you on Facebook for sure.
Nice. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So I have a question for Spencer. Has anyone ever told you that you look a lot like Keith Moon?
No, they haven't, but that's a very nice thing.
Wow, I'm trying to see that.
I wish I could play drums like him.
He's certainly handsomer than Keith Moon. Come on.
That's very kind. Thank you. Well, The Who are an amazing band, right? So,
they were an amazing band.
Yeah, indeed. That was a great set. Really enjoyed the cellos on stage, the violin.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I used to play at the IPO years ago with my old band, The Four, which were doing sort of like Mersey beat songs, which I used to love so much doing.
Oh, that was fun.
But so the Four sadly broke up, and I needed to find to do another band, and we just started it with the cellos and the violins, and it kind of works quite nicely. So yeah, it
works really well.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you.
Yeah, unfortunately, Spy Genius was on a little bit before, but you can see you can see the videos of everybody who's played anyway, so you can get at least a taste of what they've done.
Sure.
I think John knows Spy Genius pretty well. They're on Big Stir. We gave a few shout outs to Christina and Rex because we have a few bands. Steve Stokel was on earlier, and Blake Jones is going to be on in a little bit. So it was almost like a Big Stir showcase tonight.
When does Plastic Soul play?
Oh God, I think they're on Saturday and Sunday.
Tell Mr. Wilson I said hello.
Absolutely. Yeah, actually, funny enough, when we're going to Glasgow after. We're going to Glasgow after IPO for a little relaxation, and Stephen Stephen Wilson's actually gonna be there as well, just for the same reason. So we're gonna get connected there, and of course do a little record shopping. I found some pretty cool stuff so far on this trip, but even more than that, I found even cooler stuff online, which I can get in a day out here for without paying any shipping costs. So it's I'm gonna be probably getting about 5 or 6 packages at our hotel.
So the good news is there's no shipping cost. The bad news is your luggage is going to weigh 700 pounds.
Yeah, well, I know we're gonna have to figure out what to do about all of that. But
what are you gonna do?
I have a line on an original copy of Odyssey and Oracle in stereo, but we have to see. I have to take a look at the photos and see if it's worth it. That is a pretty rare piece, especially out of the UK. So we'll see if that works out. But yeah, it's been.
We
it's
answer
been
your
a lot
question,
of fun.
Stephen? Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
For every one of the guys as well.
Here we go. Just Another Night by the 286.
There we go.
Looks like 6 great tracks, and I've got 3 copies, 2 of which are earmarked for you guys. So
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love it.
Please
I
hope you
love
enjoy
it.
them, and please let us know what you think as well.
Will do. Will do. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah.
I don't need.
Yeah, really good, David.
I don't need to get on stage just yet. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think they're just kind of getting ready.
Well, we had the
let's put Blake on. Speaking of Victor, we've got Blake Jones of the Tripe Shop.
All you want to hear about is the cool record shop that I found in Chester, which is just across the river.
I do actually.
Yeah, it was called like pink on gray or gray on pink or something. Found 2 really awful record stores there, and I was like all disappointed. But then we found this one, and it's like I just had to have compassion on my wife and only spend. Yeah, we could have spent hours and hours and hours. But I found a lot of nice Beatles stuff and a lot of nice 60s LPs.
That's pretty cool. Let our audience know how you first got to IPO Liverpool a few years ago. This was
Turn left to Greenland.
Just
Turn left to
coming together,
Greenland. Come
right?
on.
The band was just coming together. And we had done IPO Los Angeles a few times, and then John Schaefer, our drummer, got in the group, and we're just like sitting back after a gig in Fresno and going, they do this in Liverpool, and everybody's kind of one at a time around the room kind of nodded their head like, yeah, that'd be fun, that'd be fun. And we did, and we came up with a tune called Send the Band to Liverpool, which we will close with tonight.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
But tell us how you meshed that with a campaign to get you here.
Oh, that's right. And those are the early days of the GoFundMe sort of things, right?
Yeah.
And so we made a little video, Send the Band to Liverpool with the video. And I think we kind of made a joke of it like, you folks in California, get rid of us, send them away, send them on their way. And anyways, it was a successful campaign, which defrayed the cost a little bit.
That's great.
But it's all because David, Bash, and Rena, setting these tentacles sounds like a bad word, but they're pioneers that go cut and blaze the trail that we can go enjoy in other parts of the world.
Well, thank you, Blake.
Yeah.
And not only that, but Blake rivals me in cool shirtage here.
Yeah.
Hey, gotta keep up with the bashes. That's what they say.
Here's another cool shirt. Look at this. Oh my! I have to find out where you got that because where did you get it?
Somewhere online.
I feel like
of course, you'll have to let me know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to head out to the stage and see what's going on there. It might be time to introduce Laura and the Stalkers. Let's see what's happening.
Mark, your shirt's pretty cool too.
Yeah, nobody. I do notice David's blinking a lot.
Quicker than normal. Yes.
After I introduce them, we'll bring it out and we can hear a little bit of them, and then you can put me back in the queue, and you and John can talk, and then we'll bring you back out a little bit later.
Yeah. We're gonna do some things, David, and then when you want to come back on, just give me that wave. Go like this. And then we'll bring you back.
I'll give you the symbol that John gave me. That might be better.
The signal.
You're number one.
You're number one.
Are we good? Okay.
I do like David's shirt there. Look at that. It's all.
Thank you all again very much for being here. You are at the International
David Dash is live.
Music Festival. You're also on
the Cavern Club introducing the
podcast.
next band.
Yes, say hello again. It's something we do every Wednesday. I live in Los Angeles, so I think of it as 3 p.m. But out here, it's 11 p.m. That we do it. So that works out just fine. It's been a great night of sound. So I want everyone to give a huge round of applause to our sound engineer, Andy, for doing another great job. Thank you. We really appreciate it. You have no idea how much. I've done this in many clubs, and let me just say the quality of sound engineers varies a lot, but not at the Cavern. It's always top shelf. So that again, thank you. Well, we've got a really cool band up right now. They've got a really nice 60s psychedelic garage rock pop sound, and they've come from a great city. You know, we don't have too many bands from this amazing city, but we've got one tonight, all the way from Rome, Italy, everyone. Yeah, that's right. And they've got some merchandise here. They've got an LP, they've got CDs. So if you like what you hear, please do support them by buying their merch. Would you please give a huge welcome to Laura and the Stalkers? Thank you. All right, we'll go out and see what they're... Pardon me. Sorry.
From Rome, Italy, Laura and the Stalkers.
Funny, when you're talking, I can feel the whole stage. Even if I can't. Oh, I'm getting a shocking blue vibe here.
What I love about IPO Liverpool and the Cavern is bands really do come from all over the world. You get a lot of the US bands, you get so many bands from Europe. And a band coming out of Rome, Italy is just very cool. Being here at the Cavern. I've made a couple times when I went over, I made such good friends with bands everywhere. And that's really what the whole experience is about. Meeting people, meeting bands like this, and staying in contact. It's really great.
That's what I've always said is one of the best parts about IPO is non-music. And it's toured, over 20 years for a lot of them.
Did you see that guy come in fixing something, a monitor on the stage? That was John Kirby. So from Kirby, he went to Oh. There it is, right above the word David and David Bash. That's the hallway to the restroom. Got the plaque commemorating where I went headfirst into the wall with food poisoning. So about what, 15 years ago?
I hit the wall in Liverpool. It's kind of a little wow.
Very nice. Well, coming up shortly, we are going to play a Flush the John or Crack the Borack. I got some trivia stuff for John while David takes a little break. But this has been very cool. Material Issues, live from the Cavern Club, Liverpool, England. David Bash running IPO Liverpool, the 19th International Pop Overthrow Festival from Liverpool. It's been very cool to see behind the scenes. It's nice to see Rena on merchandise. And if you've never been to IPO Liverpool, I highly recommend making a vacation out of it and getting over there and enjoying this whole week of 110 bands.
All right, yeah, go ahead, Laura. Go ahead and put me back in the queue. I'm going to take a video of them to post, and I'll let you know when I want to come back on.
Talk to you soon. Cheers. All right.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Hi, Dave.
David's down in the queue.
Oh, I thought he'd never leave.
Oh, God almighty. I was just trying to stay positive and everything, but, you can only do so much, right? It's like...
Val, looks like they're having a really good time back there. Very, very cool.
It's very cool. It's when I first went over to IPO Liverpool, they had 4 venues. Originally, it was a Cavern Club across the street's the Cavern Pub. They had Lennon's down the street, and then I forget the name of the other one, but there were 4 venues all right there on Matthew Street. Literally, you come out of one club, go in the other one. And in the years since, the other places have closed down, but it's the Cavern Club and the Cavern Pub where he's got these 110 bands. And what they do is they usually put one set at the club and one set at the Cavern Pub. And I was just mentioning that you talk about things you got in the mail. We talked briefly about some new stuff, and we can pop that up in a second. I just got this in the mail. It's Stone Cake's second album, which I had never had.
Wow.
Acoustic Toilets, right? First time I was in Liverpool, Stone Cake played. They played the Cavern Club. Then the next night they played the Cavern Pub, and they played the second to last show or the band of the evening, and the closing band never showed up for whatever reason. So Stone Cake just stayed on stage, and they proceeded to do like an hour and a half of nothing but great power pop UK covers. Just
wow.
Beatles, Stones, Who, everything. And they blew the doors of the place in. And I'll never forget that night. They were a 3-piece power act, guitar, bass, and drums, and they just killed. And I became a fan of Stone Cake from that moment on.
Oh
forever.
yeah, they were great bands. So many good bands from that era. From Europe and the UK and Sweden and everywhere else. So much amazing stuff back in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh yeah, very much so. I mean, I remember a huge fan of the Orgone Box, Rick Corcoran.
Oh yeah,
he played IPO. The second time I went over, he played IPO. It was just him and his wife, acoustic guitar, but they did all the classic Orgone Box stuff, Judy Over the Rainbow with his original band Orange, which became the Orgone Box. God, that song is probably one of my top 10 songs of all time. And
beautiful song.
To stand there and listen to him play it acoustically on the IPO stage in Liverpool was just a transcendent moment. You get moments like that where you're like, holy cow,
Yeah, moments where if you're a fan of this music, sometimes you don't think you'll ever see.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're able to see this thanks to IPO and David and all the other all the bands that come out. I mean, so many bands I've loved forever that I didn't think I'd ever get a chance to see. One that springs to mind immediately, the late Bobby Sutcliffe.
Oh yeah,
playing solo set. I think it was Not Lame Night at one of the IPOs, and I'd loved him ever since the Windbreakers in the early to mid 80s, and then here we are. I was in Receiver at the time, and we shared. We were on the same bill, and I'm thinking I'm on the same bill as Bobby Sutcliffe.
Yep.
It was just kind of amazing.
Yeah,
Rick Corcoran is amazing. Another great song, World Revolves.
Yeah, the world revolves around me. All Anesthesia, that whole. I mean, and the follow-up album was just as good. But that's what amazed me about those albums is that he recorded that stuff in his bedroom on a 4-track cassette.
And how many people have done that? I mean, so many people that Tom Moralda doing all the instruments by himself in his studio for the Tom's album. There's a group called the Mockingbirds. I'm sure you remember them, Mark. They were Not Lame back in the day. Mark Fuqua did a lot of that stuff in his bedroom on his own, and amazing timeless music. And then they go back and do whatever else they do, and you never really hear from them much again. But so many great memories, so many great musicians, so much great music. It's really cool.
John Kirby brought up. He said when he did the first IPO Liverpool. I remember I was there that night, John. Jeremy did the Who, and Jeremy wrecked the gear on stage. There's video. There is video that out on YouTube. You see Jeremy going crazy on stage. The place was packed. He was on the front stage, the classic stage. He had his daughter and his son, and Todd Borscht, rest in peace, buddy. God bless him. Dave Dietrich. And it was their final song, and number one, Jeremy did a stage dive into the crowd. They pushed him back up on stage, and he just proceeded to destroy everything. Of course, Jeremy, God bless him, and as good of a guy as he is, he offered to pay for everything.
I think that was after he got the bill.
He was lost in the moment. It was unbelievable. Whatever happened to the Mockingbirds? DC wants to know. Anybody know? I wonder.
Yeah, no, it was just the one album. And last I heard, I was in contact with Mark from the Mockingbirds when my update to my Power Pop book came out about 5 or 6 years ago. He was working in a guitar shop here in LA.
Wow.
And not really involved in music much anymore, but sent me some old Mockingbirds demos. They were just as good as the stuff that was on the album. Super talented guy, super nice guy. But yeah,
it's amazing. A lot of the stuff you hear, really great albums, or album, and you wonder whatever happened. I mean, even a band like Stone Cake, all three of their albums were fantastic, and then just nothing more for his daughter. April's more concerned that the audience saw her underwear. That's true. But then you just don't hear anything from them ever again. And as fans, you're like, well, why not? We need more. But some people have only enough gas in the tank, and that's it.
Yeah. Or they get busy with real life.
They get busy with life.
There's somebody like, and there's a million cases like this, but somebody like Scott McCarl.
Yeah.
Who hasn't released any, really new music in quite a long time, but he's got stuff.
Yeah.
He just hasn't had the hasn't had the chance to go and do it, or the opportunity to go and do it. But it's really cool. I was listening to the Beatles channel the other day on Sirius XM. Get in the car, start the car up, and there's Scott McCarl singing "Yes It Is."
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Scott is a
cool.
wonderful human being too.
Yes, indeed. We had him on the show here early on in Material Issues. Great guy.
It's always nice when your heroes turn out to be good people.
Turn out to be good people, and that's what you find. I think 90% of the time, 9 out of 10 times, you meet these people. They're just fantastic. Every once in a while, you run into somebody, but I've kept wonderful friendships for the last 20 years that people I've met just in or through music. It's been great. I mean, I've been trying to dump David for a long time, but he's like a Klingon. He just clings on, and
you can't get rid of him.
I love the guy. But what new releases? What new releases? You told me you had some new releases that came out you wanted to talk about, because I'd love to hear what.
Well, this is new. I think most people who probably are watching have heard this is coming out, but it's actually officially out, I think, in a few weeks. Field Day, Marshall Crenshaw's second album. It's got some bonus tracks on it. It's got some really cool liner notes, which are basically just an interview with Marshall Crenshaw talking about the album. And haven't had a chance to listen to it yet or crack it open because it just came in yesterday, but it's been remastered, so I'm sure the sound is great. Everyone remembers Steve Lillywhite produced that one, and it was a big deal back then. The sound was a huge departure from his first album, so people kind of freaked out. And you listen to it now and you think, what's all the fuss about? It's a great album, great songs. It'll sound even better now. So looking forward to playing and reviewing that one. Just got this in the mail about an hour ago.
Yeah, that looks interesting.
The Baseball Project. And it's called Grand Salami Time. So as someone who's a baseball fan and a music fan, this includes Peter Buck from REM, Scott McKay, the Young Fresh Fellows, Mike Mills from REM, Linda Pittman on drums, and Steve Wynn on guitars and backing vocals, produced by the Baseball Project and Mitch Easter at Mitch Easter's studio.
Wow.
So you pretty much can't go wrong here.
No. Everything
and
about
a baseball fan, I'm reading some of these song titles. The Yips, which is a great baseball reference. Journeyman, Uncle Charlie, Disco Demolition. I'm sure everyone remembers that back in the 70s at Comiskey Park, I believe. Fantasy baseball, all that kind of stuff. So looking forward to hearing that too.
That's really cool. I just saw down in the queue, David had popped back on to look at us, but he's not doing anything right now. So we're still good. But David's live from the Cavern Club of Liverpool, England. If you want to stick around, he's going to do some more live interviews and some more live stage stuff as soon as he gets back on here. So if you're watching, stick around. David will be back live from Liverpool. Meanwhile, we've got our good friend John Borack. He's part of the multiple co-hosting spot. We will get his Paisley jacket out to him, just like they do on SNL.
I am the Joan Rivers of Material Issues.
You are the Joan Rivers. DC Tune says the Grand Salami CD entry, big baseball fan.
Oh,
looks good, here. DC. And yeah, indeed. I was calling you the Jimmy Nickel of Material Issues, and then David took the credit and thought I was calling him Jimmy Nickel, and I said, "Why would I call you Jimmy Nickel? It doesn't make any sense." Yeah, but well, there are weeks
better than
Finally. Uh, there are weeks where David and I play Stump the Bash. On a rare occasion, we do Stump the Bash. I've got a little game right now for Mr. Borack. We've been calling this for the last day or so, Flush the John, or as I called it, Crack the Borack.
I have another game we can play. Can we play one called Quiet the Kirby? That would
Quiet the Kirby. It's all good. But John, I got an interesting thing here. I thought I came up with this idea, and it's not too tough. It really is just a 50-50 shot, but you got to think about it a little bit, and some of it's not quite so obvious. So there are 10 questions here. I'm thinking if you get 70%, 7 out of 10, then you have won the game. You've got a score of C. But all it is I'm going to give you 1970 through 1979, 1 year. Each year, and I'm going to ask you which of these two songs, which were released in that year, ended up the year charting the highest.
Oh God. Okay.
All right. It's out to you. Just got to pick one of the two. Which one you think finished up in the Billboard Hot 100 on highest on the chart for the year?
If I get something wrong, can I make excuses like David does and say, "Well, they
exactly.
didn't play that song in California."
Hey, Andy, good to see you.
Hey,
that's part of the game. All right, so you feel free.
Andy, why aren't you at IPO? Come on,
Andy, why aren't you at IPO? David will be back shortly, live from the Cavern. We had a great time so far, but here you go, John. So in 1970, which of these two songs and artists ended up charting the highest? Was it ABC by the Jackson 5, or was it Let It Be by the Beatles?
Oh, let's start with an easy one right off the top. So I'm being sarcastic. I would say ABC.
You could go with ABC, final answer?
Pressure. I can't stand the pressure. I guess I'll go with ABC, Regis.
If you picked ABC, you would be wrong.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Let It Be came in at number 9 for the year. ABC at number 16. So that was an interesting one right off the bat. Back in the hotel, early start tomorrow. Sorry, Andy, but you can stay here with us because David will be back live from the Cavern. Gary, David will be back live from the Cavern Club. He's just taking a short break, so stick around.
Did you notice our numbers have jumped since David left?
Yeah, since David left, all of a sudden there's more people viewing, which is
they're all here to laugh at me as I miss every question you're going to ask me.
That's all right. You're 0 for 1. It's a 50-50 shot. Here's 1971. Which one of these two songs charted higher for the year? Was it One Bad Apple by the Osmonds, or was it Knock 3 Times by Tony Orlando and Dawn?
I would say One Bad Apple.
Well, if you said One Bad Apple, then you would be correct. You would be correct. One Bad Apple came in at number 4 for the year, and Knock 3 Times by Tony Orlando and Dawn came in at number 10.
I love both those songs, by the way. Actually, all four that you've mentioned so far are all great songs.
Have been great, but I'm trying to keep it interesting, make you kind of go, which one would chart higher? So let's move on to 1972. You're 1 for 2. You're batting 500. Which came in higher? Was it Burning Love by Elvis Presley, or was it Beautiful Sunday by Daniel Boone?
Beautiful Sunday by Daniel Boone is one of Mike Simmons' favorite songs, by the way. Just throwing that out.
That's a great song.
We actually recorded it. Pop Dudes recorded it about 20 years ago.
That's
a good way for me to stall since I don't know the answer.
It's a good question. Which one came in?
I would say Elvis. It was probably close.
Yep. If you said Elvis, you would get this one wrong. Beautiful Sunday came in at number 42 for the year. Burning Love at number 48.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. Beautiful Sunday beat out Elvis Presley. For 1972.
I'm just hunka crap, aren't I?
You're hunka burning crap. That's all right. You can still redeem yourself. 1973. All right. Was it Loves Me Like a Rock by Paul Simon, or was it Little Willie by Sweet? Paul
Again,
Simon Loves Me Like a Rock.
love them
or
both.
Little-
I'm waiting for a song I don't like here.
I tried to pick ones that you loved.
Well, you're doing a pretty good job there. A better
Yeah.
job than I'm doing at guessing which charted higher.
But it's an interesting game because you're thinking which one charted higher and why? Because we look at it in history in retrospect, and
because that Burnin' Love you would think would be, but that's again in retrospect.
Yeah.
You don't hear much from Daniel Boone anymore.
Nope. Loves Me Like a Rock or Little Willie.
Little Willie. I'll go with Little Willie.
Well, this time if you went with Little Willie, you would be correct. Little Willie came in at number 18. Loves Me Like a Rock, number 27. And
even if I get these wrong, I don't feel horrible because they're all so close.
Right, exactly.
It's not like this one came in at number 1 and this one was number 746.
That one would be like, wait a second, you were way off.
Right.
Well, you're 2 for 4. You're still very respectable in this game. 1974 gets a little bit harder.
Oh, great.
We have Radar Love by Golden Earring.
Love it.
Love it. Great song. Or was it Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Elton John?
See, now you would think the obvious answer would be Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. You're trying to flush.
Is it
me. I know.
Radar Love or is it Goodbye Yellow Brick Road?
I'm going to go with Radar Love just because I know you're kind of trying to trick me maybe. So we'll go with Radar Love.
You never know, but if you went with Radar Love, you would be correct. Radar Love finished at number 64 for the year. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, surprisingly, number 72. And again, in retrospect, you're like, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. But at the time, it was good, but nobody went, that crazy over it.
Yeah, and I think maybe, people are, my first thought was, oh, wow, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Then the album.
Yeah.
But maybe not the single was as popular as I remember it. But oh my God, Radar Love is such a great song.
Great song.
Since we're just gonna go on wild tangents here, the follow-up single to that one, Candy's Going Bad.
Oh yes,
love it. Uh-huh. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And David would tell you that the Golden Earrings were an amazing pop band before they did these Radar Love and stuff. Because he's a big Golden Earrings fan. They took off the S.
Golden Earrings.
Yes.
Well, you're 3 up, 2 down, so you're climbing back into the positive.
All right.
1975. It's a golden year. Would you think it was Rhinestone Cowboy by Glenn Campbell, or was it Love Will Keep Us Together by Captain and Tennille? That's a hard choice. Rhinestone Cowboy or Love Will Keep Us Together.
Both songs that we used to cover with the test pressings, Robbie Rist and Karen Bassett and I. You have not lived until you've heard Robbie Rist sing Love Will Keep Us Together.
I'll bet.
I would go with Love Will Keep Us Together, but I think they were both super popular. But
they were both, I think, huge. Yeah.
Number ones for a good length of time. But I'll go with the late Captain and Tony.
And you would be right. And I put this one in there as a tough one because Love Will Keep Us Together came in overall number 1 in 1975. Rhinestone Cowboy came in at number 2.
Wow.
So you got that one right. Yeah, good call. That was one of those I put in there because it was almost impossible. It would have to just be a stab at it because they're 1 and 2,
Like O.J. Simpson, a stab in the dark.
Just a stab in the dark.
Oh, that was bad.
Well, you're at 4 and 2, so you're on a streak here. But 1976 gets interesting as well. Was it Convoy by C.W. McCall?
Well, so much for all songs I like.
We think we got ourselves a Convoy.
Yeah, for there, good buddy.
Or was it SATURDAY, Night, Saturday Night by the Bay City Rollers? Convoy by C.W. McCall or Saturday Night by the Bay City Rollers?
Please, God, let it be the Rollers. We'll
and it was not the Bay City Rollers. Convoy finished up at 57. The Bay City Rollers at 64.
Well, whoever compiled this did not go to my high school because nobody was wearing C.W. McCall T-shirts at Glen A. Wilson High School. But
amazing though. But I can so vividly remember that year, and I can remember my brother, who's 3 years younger, just running around the house for months, singing, "I think we got ourselves a convoy," and it drove me up a wall. But
my dad had a CB radio. Yeah. My cousin had a CB radio.
My dad, my brother. My brother had that. What they called them when they had them in your room? They were called shortwave or something like that. And he had a handle, as I recall.
Yeah.
It was like call sign, like this is KB-3794. Talking to, and he talked to people from all over the world.
Yeah.
I have to say it was kind of interesting, but not my thing. All right. Well, you're 4-3. So you're still above 500 mark. 1977. Was it Hotel California by the Eagles, or was it Telephone Line by ELO?
Another one of my favorite songs ever.
Yep. Great.
The ELO song, not the Eagles song.
Songs are great, but ELO's Telephone Line's incredible.
Oh, it is. See, I think it's another trick question. So I'm going to go, because you would think Hotel California, but I'm going to go with ELO.
I love your strategy there, and you would be correct. ELO came in at number 15, Hotel California at number 19.
Close.
So they were close, but ELO came out ahead. All right, well, we've got 2 more years left. You're 5 up, 3 down. So if you get these next 2 correct, you do get your 70%. We do not flush the John, but you got to get them right. So
I'm hoping you have a sound effect if I get this wrong.
Wait, Greg Hickle had to say 10-4 Rubber Ducky.
Yeah.
DC2, and the string of songs I like has been broken. I hate Convoy. Hey, listen, DC, we couldn't be perfect. All right, 1978. Which one charted higher? Was it Grease by Frankie Valli, who I'm just watching? He's still on tour right now at age 89. Wow. I saw some live shows of his on YouTube from the other couple nights. It's amazing.
Can he still do the falsetto?
He actually, you can tell the key, they've dropped the key, but he can still get up there pretty good.
Hey, that's wow.
The amazing thing is, it looks almost like he's not doing anything. Like, well, somebody else must be singing it. But when they close in on him, he's like, he's not really moving.
Wow.
But you can hear it. He's still impressive at 89 years old.
Hey, if you can sing any sort of falsetto at 89,
yeah.
If you can sing a baritone at 89, man, that's.
And David's moving around the cavern there. We're going to get back to him shortly. So let's get this through. Grease, or was it "Come Sail Away" by Styx?
Oh boy, my high school graduation song that everyone loved. Grease is
going
the word.
With Grease.
Grease is the word, Mark.
Grease is definitely the word. This one I thought would trip you up, but there's a big gap. Grease came in at number 11. Come Sail Away at number 56.
Yeah, I think Come Sail Away was more of an FM radio thing. And boy, when they played that on Casey Kasem's American Top 40, did they ever butcher Come Sail Away? They cut out about half the song.
Yeah.
Like, what happened? Where'd the rest of it go? Yeah.
All right, my friend, you're 6-3. You just got to get this last one correct, and we do not flush the John tonight.
Woo!
1979, which one charted the highest for the year? Was it My Sharona of the Knack, or was it YMCA by the Village People?
I've heard the first one somewhere.
Somewhere you heard it, but you're not familiar with the second one. That's amazing.
Oh, Mark, I am so familiar. I am too familiar. Being a DJ between YMCA and the Cupid Shuffle, it's oh boy, yeah, definitely a thing. I'm going with My Sharona.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have not flushed the John, as John Borack got My Sharona correct. My Sharona actually came in overall number 1 in 1979, YMCA at number 8. So you went 7-3, my friend. We did not flush the John. We did not crack the Borack.
Three I missed. I'm sure there were good reasons.
They were good reasons.
I don't know what they were, but I'm sure they were good.
But they were good. You were supposed to give us reasons why you missed everything, but let's quickly check in here 1 second with David Bash, because I see him.
Give it up one more time for Laura and the Stalkers, everyone.
Laura and the Stalkers.
Oh, that was fun.
We've got a nice view of David's IPO badge and belly tee
and LPs. So if you like what you heard, please support them. It's a lot. It costs a lot for petrol to get back to Rome. After all, thank you very much for being here. You're at the International Pop Overthrow Festival. This is day number 4 of 8 here this year. We'll be here through Sunday, June 4th. Grab our free program if you haven't already. We have one more great band tonight.
This is David Bash live from the Cavern Club,
from the West
Liverpool,
Coast
England,
of California, and they are very, very cool. Blake Jones and the Trike Shop up next. Thank you.
From California, Blake Jones and the Trike Shop. Happy first anniversary to our shirt, David. I don't know who that is. Who's that, Dave? Hi, David.
It's Barry.
Am I on?
Yeah, you are on.
Oh, I didn't even know. All right. Good.
Thanks, Tim. It is tough.
We heard you doing the intro for Blake Jones.
Blake, what about Blake?
We heard you doing the intro for Coming Up. We heard you say Coming Up for Blake Jones.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, this is good. We just played some Flush the John, and John Borack was not flushed. He got 7 out of 10 for the game we were playing. So yeah, he's upheld the tradition.
How did that work?
It's too long of a story, but he did well.
He got 7. There were 10 questions, and he got 7 right. There were no points in this game.
No points.
So 7 sounds like it's pretty good. I mean,
it was.
And what years did you do?
It was 1970 through 79. He just had to give me the highest charting song.
He had to do what? I'm sorry.
He had to give me the highest charting song of 2 choices, which was 50-50, and some of them were very close. So he did very well. Yeah.
And that's on Billboard. Yeah, I don't know how well I would do on that because I know. I mean, I guess I do okay, but I know WABC's charts a lot better.
It was fun. It was fun. We had a good time.
All right, well, awesome. Let's get Laura back on. Laura, did you have a good time?
Really good time.
Hi, Laura.
Fun. Wonderful audience and nice atmosphere out here.
No, you were great. I mean, the Shocking Blue is definitely one band that comes to mind when I listen to it.
Shocking Blue. Actually, I don't think we know that band.
You don't know this? Oh my! That's a band you need to find out about. They're
shocking.
Shocking. It shows our age.
They had a huge. No. They're from back in the day. They started in the late '60s, and they had a very, very big hit record in 1970 called Venus.
Remember, Laura, David was born in the 50s.
I'm your Venus. Yeah. All right. Well, that's who they are. But they had a long career. They had many albums, and
I have to catch up with that.
Yeah, you should definitely catch up on that.
Great job, Laura. Great job.
I think
you did well.
I can't hear you. Sorry.
I said great job. I'm glad you had a great time in Liverpool. Yes.
Thank you.
Alex is going to get on.
Yeah.
Good job. Great job. Nice stuff, my friends.
Much. The audio was great.
That's really great.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Yeah, no, I'm really glad. Cool stuff. You know what? If you want me. Well. Oh no, that's winking. Oh, blinking is like this. Okay. All right, you know what? I'm gonna get going. You guys take it away, John. No, you guys just do whatever you need, and I'll be checking this out. Obviously,
I'll be seeing you.
I'll be humming a popular song. Who wrote Swanee River? All right. Anyway, have a great rest of the night, John. Thanks so much for coming in and doing this. And
thank you for asking.
And everyone out there, thank you very much for joining us. I hope you had a good time being with us at the Cavern Club for International Pop Overthrow Liverpool. We'll see you all. Mark, have you announced who's going to be on, or are you going to be doing that?
I'll do that towards the end of the show when we don't have as much interference and things, so people can hear it.
See you a week from now. I will be in Glasgow at that point, so I'll be broadcasting from my Glasgow hotel, and I'm sure I'll have some more stories at that point. So anyway, have a great rest of the night. Thank you again. Bye-bye.
Have fun, David.
Thanks.
And there he goes, David Bash.
Did you tell David about the co-host change that he's out and I'm in?
No, I'm gonna have Brian Epstein do that.
Yeah. The boys want you out and Ringo in.
It's a different Brian Epstein than you might know, but he's my manager. So
of course, he's the one who got you that shirt.
Yeah, he's the one who got me the shirt. So he'll break the news. See it as though David's on Matthew Street. I'll have him report to an office right at the end of the street.
Right. No,
anybody.
For people who don't already know, and I assume a lot of people here do who are watching, but David does these IPOs all over the world, all throughout the United States, and he does England, and he's doing other places too. But he posts videos from all the bands, at least one video from each band that plays, and you'll want to check those out because you'll hear about some bands like the 286 you might not have been familiar with before. You might like their music. You go on Bandcamp or wherever and check it out, and it's how you find out about new stuff. I mean, there's a lot of great music out there that people don't know about. Yeah. And, kudos to David and IPO for helping to bring a lot of that to us.
And that is the neat thing about what he does wherever he's at. Like, obviously, the Cavern Club pulls in great crowds all day, all night. It's a built-in wonderful venue. But there are venues that he goes to where there might be a night where it's not that crowded, but he posts the video of these bands, and they're giving it their all. And you can check them out, and you can then find them on Bandcamp or Spotify or whatever it may be. And John
Kirby, you can keep trying. Eventually, you will be funny. Not today, but at some point, you might have one thing that's funny.
But
kudos for trying.
But yeah, so make sure if you join David on his Facebook page, that you check out these bands. It's a great call, John, on the videos that he posts. And like tonight, the 286, I didn't know anything about them, and just watching them live on Material Issues here, and we'll check them out. That's a really good band.
Yeah,
but,
totally.
Yeah, we had a great time tonight. I thank you for joining me, John. We did not flush the John with our trivia, but
no. I remain proudly unflushed so far.
Unflushed. But as David mentioned, we do have today's the 30th, so we do have a couple of interesting guests coming up. I want to make sure we note that next week, which is June 7th.
Today's the 31st, actually.
Today is the 31st, is it?
Time flies when you're having fun, Mark.
Oh boy, 31st. Wow, it is the 31st. Let me correct my book here for the archives in case somebody finds this 40 years from now. There we go. All right. Next week is June 7th. I'm correct with that, right? Yeah.
I believe so.
Yes. We've got Harvey Lisberg and Charlie Thomas. They co-wrote a book based on Harvey's time managing Herman's Hermits and 10cc.
Oh, wow. That'll be interesting.
So we're going to have some behind the scenes stories from Harvey on Herman's Hermits and 10cc, which will be pretty interesting. We'll have some questions for him.
I would love to learn more about 10cc. I mean, because a lot of people know about Herman's Hermits. Peter Noon he puts himself out there. He's still touring regularly, but you don't hear a lot about 10cc and the personalities. So that'd be pretty interesting.
Oh, Andy said David gave him a great intro last night. Felt like proper star as well. Andy, that's awesome.
You are, Andy. That's why.
You are a star. John knows Harvey. Cool. So I'm sure you'll check in next week, John. So that's June 7th. Harvey Lisberg, Charlie Thomas. Then we have nobody scheduled for the 14th. So that'll probably be a Stump the Bash and just talking about new releases or maybe what's going on with IPO Copenhagen. I think he'll be running right around that time. Then the 21st, we'll have Ted Ansani and Mike Zelenko of Material Issue.
There we go.
Which is what this show is really named after. Obviously, Mr. Ellison is no longer with us, but what a classic band. And we're going to have two of them, Ted Ansani and Mike Zelenko, here on Material Issues, talking about Material Issue. That's going to be on June 21st.
Have you seen the documentary, Mark?
Yes. Yeah.
Pretty incredible.
It's pretty incredible. Yes,
there's a lot of really cool footage, and it's one of those things where it makes you feel energized and really sad at the same time.
Yeah, I get that. And of course, Kirby was checking in. He worked for 10cc, so we could have. Hope you join us, John. We'll get you to verify some stories that we hear. And then the 29th, which is the following week after that, we have a band called the Midnight Callers. They've got a new release on Gem Records. I've heard dribs and drabs of it. I really like it. There it is. Rattled Humming Heart.
Excellent record.
Excellent record. So we try to keep it interesting as possible. I know we get a lot of guests from yesteryear and things, but when you have a chance to talk to a band with a brand new release, sometimes I think it's kind of neat to get them involved in the show as well. So
you guys do a great job of mixing it up as far as the guests go. Recent, current artists and classic rock artists, and people who are writers or authors or whatever.
Yeah, I think
people to watch every week. You guys do a great job.
Yeah, I try to keep it fresh with something new and different. So makes for interesting viewing. But yeah, Midnight Callers, June 29th. And then that brings us into July. We don't have anything solid yet, but as David and I always say, we've got irons in the fire constantly. It's a little bit weird when you do a live show, I guess, on a Wednesday, if we already have the next 3 or 4 weeks booked, trying to book somebody for 5 or 6 weeks out from now, because they may be on tour or they may be doing this or doing that. It's tough to say, can you do it this window? So sometimes our guests don't pop up until a week or two before we can actually do it. So stay tuned to the Facebook page, join the page, join us over on YouTube, subscribe, that kind of thing. We always update that with who's coming up. And join us live next week. Harvey Listberg, Charlie Thomas here, Material Issues. John, thank you again for joining me and the ride with David live from the Cavern, International Pop Overthrow Liverpool.
My pleasure. Always lots of fun. Always good hanging with you. And David and I talk all the time, so we have our silly inside jokes and different things. But it's great to see him doing well back there and having a good time and bringing this music to people who will enjoy it.
Oh, and what a better place than the Cavern. And of course, Mr. Borack, if you haven't picked it up yet, the Beatles 100, the Beatles 100 pivotal moments in Beatles history. Mr. John Borack, that's the name right there. That's the guy right here on your screen. So this is available, I'm sure, at all the usual places, Amazon and.
It's available on the Rare Bird website, on Amazon.com, or out of the trunk of my car.
Or out of the trunk, because you're on the corner of La Brea and what? Sunset.
The tar pits. I'm right near the tar pits.
Yeah, because whatever you don't sell at the end of the day, you just put them in the tar pits for generations to come to find them, right?
Yeah, and eventually the tar washes away, and then they still get to read about the Beatles. Eventually,
working at the tar wash.
It's a funny thing. Rolls Royce. They lived next to a former girlfriend of mine. The whole band lived in this house in Diamond Bar, California, which is a really nondescript sort of city, like 40 minutes outside of LA. And I would go over to see her, and I'd hear them practicing. It was just why am I hearing car wash all the time, over and over and over? Oh, that's actually the band playing car wash over and over and over. Yeah. Anyway, but I
have a great night, John. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here at Material Issues. We'll see you next week, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Good night.
Good night, guys.